What's up, guys? Dayman here. So we are jumping into some Honor Duel. I might use this video just as a clip, depending on what we end up pulling for an artifact. But if this is one of... So I have 6 different artifacts that are confirmed and team comps. Just really, if I can get one of the artifacts that I'm looking for, then this will be one of my showcase videos for this season's meta. Yeah, I've had a hard time actually getting a couple of the ones that I want to get, and right away Bone Scroll. So, right off the bat, Bone Scroll is on my list of must-grabs because I am fairly confident that you can consistently pull off a 9-win with Bone Scroll. And yeah, that's pretty much the fact that I can state. There is certain characteristics that you're going to go for, but what it really boils down to is a few characters and their items. But right off the bat, just kind of give you a guidance that the 6, maybe 7, well, the definite 6 that you're looking for is Ulsa, Brutus, Coco, Mikola, Soren. Now, Shakir would be that 7th place, but Shakir has kind of fallen a little bit. As nerfs did affect this, he used to be at the top of the list. Now it's really boiled down to these 6. And Rise. Rise also is like the 7th character. 7th. I was sitting there trying to think, what's that guy's name? So yeah, that's the main team that you're going to be looking for. And then as far as items, we kind of will go through it as we see them. There are, of course, best in slot items for each person. That being said, like Soren is 100% looking for a Mask of Fury, and that's pretty much it. Also, looking for a Bone Amulet, or the Fallen Dagger has really picked up for working on her. Brutus isn't too keen on like needing an item, so I don't know. I mean, I would say just look for EQ to put onto him. It's the best way. Coco, Gaze of Power is like her must. It's the epic instant ult item. She needs that. Like, that's a necessity. Crimson Abyss, if you can get that too. Like, you know, if you get that before Gaze of Power, that's fine. But I wouldn't actually change the Gaze of Power for the Crimson Abyss. I think Gaze of Power is pretty much all she needs. Mikola, so there's a couple different items that I think work pretty well this season on her. There's this item, spacing out, trying to think what it's called. It's like the Deer's Blessing item. If I come across that, I'll be putting that on her, and you'll see what I mean by how effective it is. But then, really, like, you can just put a Hunting Armor on her. That's pretty good. Gaze of Power also does work on her. Yeah, Crimson Abyss, like, same deal with Gaze of Power. And Shakir. So ultimately, Shakir, like I said, we'll see if we're going to plug him in over Rise. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between the two, but I think Shakir might still be the better option, especially because we have Bone. Well, we're going to see. Basically, it boils down to you need the other main core, and if you can pull more Shakir or more Rise, you play with them. EQ, really, like, Shakir is really all you need is just some EQ item. Yeah, just EQ, maybe a Hunting Armor. Night Raven does work on Shakir, but I don't know if I would say it's best in slot. We'll see. We're going to see what we can pull, but here we go. We're going to play Bone Amulet, Bone Scroll, rather, and Hope for the best with some nice RNG. But at least we have a game plan. This is the game plan. We're building a 9-win deck here. So that being said, as far as like an early item, before I roll this away, your main focus, especially here, because I'm looking at also in Brutus. Brutus, again, I said, doesn't need an item. His EQ is really the best I would go for. Also, on the other hand, you know, Bone Amulet is really her best in slot, and she needs it. Or the Fallen Dagger. So she could end up using this Cold Dagger. I guess it's worth locking. Yeah, let's give it a roll. Unfortunately, did not run into any Mauler packs. Thank God we at least got another Mauler. Like, we've had some really bad luck here in this early. Now this... I will lock the ring. Only because, like I said, you got Mikola that needs it. Coco needs it. Pretty much just those two. I wouldn't really mess with it putting it on too many other people. Soren could actually use it too. But let's play this through. We're hoping to see a Mauler pack on the next turn. Let's play this out. If I can get more than 5 wins, I'll be posting this video because, and I should, I mean, consistently, like I said, Bone Scroll is very top tier. I mean, for the sake of saying it ahead of the tier list, I would say this is an S+ tier artifact. So that being said, this map, I like to just pick a side. We know that we're playing our Maulers, obvious. With the remainder of what I have, essentially you just want to look for support. And something that kind of can curve the faction bonus. Which we're not really sitting too well with. Yeah, I don't want to keep this a factionless bonus game, so I'm going to add... I guess we need more damage. Also be able to poke in there. We're going to have enough CC. We are versing Greyborn. Was debating between the Rowan and Cassidy combo, but I think we'll be okay playing Salazar here. And I'm going to play him kind of behind. Looks good. Obsidian Earring is a very, very low tier artifact. I'm actually hoping I don't pick up a Mauler pack, just to show you some like bad RNG. How you can turn bad RNG to benefit you. Somehow I want this to mess up my econ. Like, I've pulled off 9 wins solid by having a bad econ. Okay, perfect. So part of the econ strat is this next turn we are going to throw it, essentially throw it, by playing the coins that have not been played. That being said, you don't want to entirely throw it if you can help it. I am going to grab this ring, I am going to grab this dagger, and then what I'm going to do is save this 23 honor badge. I'm not going to roll, I'm not going to pick anything up. I have tested before just picking up this extra 18 pack which is what I'm sitting here debating. Because it has worked, it has not worked. I mean, you can pick up 3 just random duds, and you're only going to be playing the heroes that you have not played yet on this turn. You won't be playing them again. So, for the sake of trying to make the, a very instructive video, I'm going to say don't. Just stick with what you have for this turn. I picked up the items that I did lock. That frees up the shop. So next shop, it'll refresh with a full clean shop. Now, from the players that I have not used, Mario, Carolina, Cassidy, really no one can benefit from using this. Yeah, except for, I guess, Thorin. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll play the not locked play the characters that you can get an honor badge from. And again, we're expecting to lose this match. This is a throw. The second match during the econ strategy, you are expecting to throw it. If you do win it, that's fantastic because it puts you even further ahead than you were. But if you do not win, do not feel discouraged. So, placements. Throw Cassidy in the back. Now, I will use Carolina and Vaporeon as last options. We are against a Horn, so that makes it very difficult. Yeah, very difficult match to win, but we'll see. Does he have a full man team? He does. And it's pretty stacked. He's using a best in slot team for Light Bearers this season. So yeah, this will be very impossible to win, but we have a prayer. There is a prayer. Thorin actually did what I needed him to do. Wow. Thorin was the MVP there. Same Vaporeon with damage, but wow. Yeah, okay, Vaporeon's damage was pretty stacked. But Thorin ended up nuking that, so that was pretty sweet. Okay, awesome. So that's best case scenario. Again, I was kind of trying to show you a hard one, but the game had other options for me. Now, we're going back to our Maulers this turn. Part of the econ strat. We did not get a Mauler pack. We did, however, get Coco. So, Coco needs that ring. Entendre is not part of our core group, so we are going to look to replace her. We have 83, but we're on Shop 2. So I don't really like to roll Shop 2. We do have so much, though, that we can afford to roll down a bit and maybe grab something. So the question is, do we want to grab that dagger? No. We don't want to grab the dagger. We want to save now towards Shop 3. Look for our core items. Look for our core people. Try to conserve these honor badges because they do stack up. So, I mean, I don't have to roll down right now for Shop 2. Keep that in mind. I'm only rolling because we don't have a full Mauler team yet. Don't have anything. We're still missing core pieces here. So let's roll a little bit, but try to conserve. There we go. We got Shakir. We got a Mauler pack. And we got a bow. The bow only works really on Rise. And that's pretty much it. So we know we're not getting the bow because we have a Shakir. Watch me pull 3 Rise. Well, I got 1. Now again, you're kind of picking between Rise or Shakir. You don't really need them both. You don't want them both. Yeah. Now at that point, 32 coin, I'm going to save. Here's another part of the season's meta that is pretty important to note, is trial cards. Trial cards are very important. Even if it's off faction, you need to take a look at what you have, what you're missing, and what could benefit. There is a separate tier list that we've already kind of been working on between the level 0 team, that there's a spreadsheet out there, which in the tier list video and in a future video I will kind of break down further. But there's a specific tier list between heroes, especially with the trial cards, that where they benefit the most. I'll just say right off the top of my head, the king of the trial cards is Duel. It's a point system basically based on the item that he's given on top of his utility. Like Duel, if you get one of him, he's the best trial card you can find in the game. Situationally, Scarlita as like second best, maybe arguably first, but Duel so far power-wise has the highest take. So that being said, trial cards are important to consider. We do not need this Lucius here. We're playing with Bone Scroll. You got to take a look at what you're playing with the artifact. What we have, again, now at this point, we do have a full Mauler team. So we are not going to pick him up. Don't need Lucius. At this point, we're not going to roll. We're going to just keep the board clear, and we're going to play our Mauler team. Let's play. So we're saving this 32 honor badge for level 3 shop. So next shop, we'll be able to sell the extra heroes that we're not using, and we'll have a fat amount of honor badges to be able to shop. That being said, let's check out our Maulers. Brutus up front. Now, another important thing to note is who are you dropping first? Who are you dropping second? We actually want to hold off on putting Ulsa down and Coco. That being said, this is where we get to pick between Rise or Shakir, and we'll play them up front. For the sake of, Shakir, even though he got his little nerf, I'm going to play Shakir. We have nothing going with Rise. If I ended up getting that bow, or if I got a second or third copy of him, we'd be playing the Rise. Now, the reason why you hold these 2 seconds is for positioning, just so you don't get countered, and so you can actually move them into a decent position. Yeah, this looks good. Feels good. Mauler versus Mauler. Flame Orb. Not too threatened here. We got this. No items. And he's playing a Ludovic on top of it. Now his carry is Shakir. Oof, that heal right off the bat for them. My Ulsa's not doing enough. That Flame Orb is making the difference. He's already procced, I believe, 3 shields. Luckily, my damage turned around. Down goes Nicola. Oh. I was hoping Ludovic died there. Well, it's just 2 healers, so GG. Okay. Sweet. And then we picked up a Shakir. And is that a Night Raven, or is that a, yeah, it's a Night Raven. So Shakir actually does benefit from Night Raven. We have 91 coins. We need items now at this point, so I am going to pick that up. Now we have one of the best in slots for Shakir. Now, let's sell whoever we're not using. So obviously anyone that's not Mauler. First off, you just go ahead and sell. And now go back through, and anyone that is not part of the core group that I described, that being Ulsa, Mikola, Coco, Brutus, and then as your sixth, it's actually supposed to be Soren. Soren really should be the deciding factor here. Soren will take place of Shakir, and that is, you know, assuming and thinking that we're going to get Soren stacked up. Now, Darkmoon Pendant, just to give you kind of a feel for where we're at, it's completely useless. It's useless on this artifact. 91 coins, let's give it a roll. Brutus. Also. Gale Boots, useless. Sharpo, useless. Again, Sharpo would work for Rise if we were playing him. Not playing it. 58 coins on level 3 shop, so it's safe to roll. So let's roll. Nicola, just grab her. Darkmoon Pendant, again, not useful. Starlight, not useful. What else here? Let's give it a roll. We're at 40. Alright, Nicola, got her leveled up. Very nice. We're going to lock this pack. And the game wants to feed us Shakirs this game, so we will embrace it. Now, I have 7 honor badge. We're going to just hold it. We're not going to roll the shop. Once you're down to level 4 shop, then, you know, I would roll things all the way down, and we'll get to that point. But for now, let's just save it, move towards getting that pack. Now, with the Econ strat, if you take a look, we have 3 legendary heroes, we have an epic item, we have 2 base items, so we have a fair advantage against anyone that's not using the Econ strat. If you're not using an Econ strat, there's no potential way that you would have this many heroes ranked up and this quality of items. Unless you had godlike RNG, but even then, the chances of you reaching this potential, you wouldn't be there. So, we have Night Raven on Shakir. He needs to be alone. He needs to be by himself. This is the positioning I like for this map. Potentially here, but we're going to leave it here. Now, we know that they're playing Vala, probably. That being said, we are going to throw Ulsa up here. This way, the brunt of the damage will go towards Shakir. Here's our layout. Here we go. And there is no Vala. It is a Mario comp. Art of Ruling is also at a top tier level for the artifacts, so this is a little potentially scary. However, I think our advantage here with the power of our heroes and the items keeps us at an advantage to the point where we're not going to lose this. Looks good. 4th trophy, 5 to go. Let's get it. Alright. Now, Cleric's Vestment. I've had debates about this item. Just checking my notes. What I wanted to say about that item. See, I figured there's certain situations where I can talk about things. It works amazing on Tundra. It works on Olmus. and that's pretty much it. Entendre, like, if you get pigeonholed into, like, if we didn't get Brutus, I'd be picking up Entendre. But because we have Brutus, don't need it. It's fine to skip. That being said, let's grab our pack, see what we get. Okay, alright, got a couple keynotes here. Alice's up, that's good. Entendre, that's an extra coin. I'm going to save that coin. I'm going to try and make this an instructional video. Let's save her, and we can sell her next turn. Next turn, we'll get the extra honor badge. 34 honor badge now. At this stage, we are looking for a Coco. We're still looking for a purple item, so we will roll down to 15 honor badge at the minimum, at the most. Like, we're gonna not go under 15 if we can help it. But let's give it a roll. And perfect. A couple different things here I can show you guys. Number one, we are close to leveling up the artifact. Artifact experience is only viable and optional to get when you know, hey, I'm leveling up my artifact. My artifact also needs the level 2 or benefits from it. Not all of them need it, but some benefit from it. This one doesn't need it. This one does benefit from it. That being said, keep in mind that we have 31. We're not grabbing the Entendre. We're not grabbing the Rise. I will tell you about Coco in 1 second. We will grab this artifact experience just to level up our artifact. Now, if you remember in the beginning of the video, I had said it makes the world of sense to buy trial cards. Here's the main reason why. Our Coco currently is not leveled up to legendary. This is, in fact, a legendary Coco. We are going to buy this Coco because now in place of our normal ranked Coco, we have a legendary Coco to play. That is the theory, thought process behind all of this. Alright, let's play it out. Now this ring, because we know we're going to be playing the other Coco, I'm going to put on to Mikola for this turn. And we're not locking anything in the shop. We're not going to roll. We're just going to save those 4 coins. Here we go. Alright, positioning. On this map, we got Brutus. We have Mikola. And we have Shakir. That Shakir I'm actually going to play in the middle. Mikola we're going to play right behind Brutus. Shakir needs to be by himself. And now we have Coco. Yeah, let's use him. Oh, just so you guys can see it and I didn't kind of go over things. The Deer's Blessing, this was the item that I said it's kind of core for Mikola. Grants an allied hero 25 haste for 5 seconds when healing or shielding them, unstackable. So, on Mikola, it's amazing. It works phenomenal. We're going to use Coco to kind of take the brunt of the damage. Let also kind of peel back. And yeah, here goes positioning. This looks good, feels good. We are looking at a team so far that has 3 legendary, so I'm assuming his other 2 will not be. And okay, at a shock he did have 2, so this person is either using the Econ strat or they just had phenomenal RNG. Oh, Crimson Gem though taking things down pretty quickly. Crimson Gem also, again, he's playing Maulers. Maulers are at a higher tier. Crimson Gem, also not that bad of a tier artifact. That would be a loss. You know, that Crimson Gem, like I said, it looked like he's playing the same Econ strat idea. Definitely being smart with Econ. Had good RNG. Alright, let's check out what we got. We got Wizard's Mask, we got Abyssal Mask. Neither of these are useful. Nothing else in the shop. Let's give it a roll. Rise. Now at this stage, once you hit level 4 shop, we don't really want to keep buying packs. We can sell that Entendre real quick. Let's just clear up the bench. You don't really want to keep buying Mauler packs. You want to find your heroes. You want to find your items. Lead utility useless. Sharp bow useless. I will now and then. I mean, like you'll see, you really should buy some. We still need to find a Coco. But bad RNG here with these packs can really set you back, or it really, I can't even say set you back, it'll lessen your advantage at this point. At this point, you want to consider yourself at an advantage using the Econ strat, so it will lessen your advantage if you get bad RNG for a pack. So let's give it a try. And this was okay. Not great, okay. We did get Entendre, she's useless. We did get Soren, he is key. And we did get a copy of Mikola. So, not the best, not the worst. That's pretty middle of the road. Soren, again, he's going to take the place of Shakir if we can get him ranked up. He needs to be at least legendary now at this point, and if we can get Shakir to Mythic, then it's going to be really hard to put in Soren. Soren then could take the place of... I'm leaning towards Brutus. Soren could definitely take the place of Brutus. So much so that Shakir might be staying, especially because we have his Night Raven, and Brutus might be dropped in place for Soren. But let's see if we get to that point. Alright, let's give it a roll. We have 60 on a level 4 shop. Alright, so we got our copy of Coco. We're going to just pick that up right away. We have an Instructor and a Deer's Blessing. Now the Deer's Blessing, like I had said, best in slot for Mikola. So buy that immediately, put it on Mikola. Now this coin can go back to Coco. Nothing else in this shop. We are looking at a trial card, and I said you should always consider them. This game, crit damage multiplying, Walker, not really beneficial, especially on a Bone Scroll. So safe skip. Give it a roll. Looking like some more Entendres. We did pick up another copy of Mikola. For items, we have Crown of Devotion, we have Executioner, and Instructor. All these items are useless. Entendre we're not using. This trial card, a Tamesia with reduced damage, chance of receiving a critical strike. Not needed. We're using Bone Scroll, so Tamesia doesn't fit here. Mikola we will buy. Now, with a level 4 shop, there is no point in saving your coins. Now, at this point, once you reach level 4 shop, you want to find your items or your people in your shop. Every single round now, we will roll down every honor badge that we have and lock anything that we can't buy. And we will buy everything that we can buy immediately. Unless it's a... So if I find a single copy of Mikola, for example, in this scenario, and I had 15 to buy her, I would still just lock it and save it, because you could find a double copy, and you don't want to just waste 15 coins. So, again, maybe the scenario will play itself out, and I can show you better. But hopefully that makes sense. So let's give the shop a roll. Alright, a couple different options here. So, we are going to pick this up. We are going to lock this. We're going to lock this. Damien, again, we're playing the Bone Scroll, so we know really, unless it's a Hypo Celestial unit, that we really don't want to sway from the faction bonus. So, Damien, not used. Damien's also one of the lowest tier heroes in Honor Duel this season, unless he's Mythic and unless he has a good item. So this one, not needed. Now, this Fire Dance, bear with me, just grabbing my note. Fire Dance with this artifact. Realistically, the only people that we are looking at for using this on would be Ulsa, would be Coco, or excuse me, not even Ulsa, would be Coco, would be Mikola, or Soren. That's who we would use this for. And since we have Soren, and that's really because of the Gaze of Power, we don't have any Gaze of Powers yet. But on Soren, it's not terrible. That's the best option. And at least now we have an item lined up for him. We really need to hopefully find some more copies of him to change out Brutus. And at this point, we really are hoping to find a single copy of Shakir. That'd be fantastic. So let's hope for the best. Again, I've given you like the best case scenarios. RNG is going to play a lot of part in that. So, that being said, Brutus goes out. Shakir. Now, he needs to be a standalone. We are versus Crystal Dew. This is going to be a tough match. When you're this far, I think we're at 4 trophies, 5 trophies. When you're this far into things, you already know that it's going to not be cakewalk anymore. We have to keep this spot open so that Shakir has an exit path. And good, I'm glad he's taking the brunt. That being said, this is the key positioning here. Alright, and it is a Lightbearer comp. Lightbearers did get a nice little buff with Kieran. He's not even using that. He is at a major disadvantage just based on his team comp. Although the faction bonus, which I didn't take into account, with Maulers versus Lightbearers. Walker with a solid stun. Also doing things. Mikola is down. Shakir is dropping. Brutus. Need to take them out. Take him out. Got one. Now if I can keep the Lucius locked up. Okay, good. Got him down. Looking like a win. There was a scary moment there. Alright, now this turn, what we're going to do is we're going to straight up buy the Shakir. We're going to straight up buy... I'm debating between just straight up buying this or not. If I buy this, that means that we have to drop Brutus. Soren is such an advantage that it is worth, I would say it is actually very worth to keep that over Brutus. On Tundra we can sell. Let's clear the bench a little. Now we have 30 coins to play with. Looking at a Judgment Staff and another Deer's Blessing. It's argumentable that you could put it on Coco, but Coco really is looking for that instant ult. So we're not going to waste the honor badge at this point to put that on Coco. Let's give the shop a roll. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Got a couple different options here. Just going to lock them off the bat so I can show you what else is going on. Clear the other shop. Judgment Staff, not use. Bright Graves, not use. Forest Guardian, not use. Now, 27 coins, got to do the math, where we will be able to pick up this Coco right off the bat. And Soren, now we're looking at Soren with Starlight. Increased target's damage taken by 20% in 6 seconds when inflicting enemy heroes with control effects. This effect cannot stack. It's decent. It's not fantastic. The fact that he is at a legendary rank is really the main key here. That it's behind our Sorin. I mean, that it's ahead of, excuse me, our Sorin. So this will be a trial card that we pick up. And we will use this turn over our Sorin. That being said, we're going to give this to the choice is between Elsa or Coco. And honestly, Coco needs the instant ult. Even though it's damage, Coco needs the instant ult. So let's play this out. Next turn, we'll be able to sell Brutus. Confidently, we can sell Brutus next turn. Even though our Sorin is behind, being lower rank, that instant ult does add points to his effectiveness. It's the best way to look at it. Now, our new front line is now Sorin, Mikola, and Shakir. Again, our Shakir needs to be standalone, and we are looking at playing Elsa and Coco. I am never a fan of putting Mikola up front like that. I really hate seeing it. I hate doing it. So I'm going to kind of peel things back a bit. Yeah, we're going to do it that way. Okay, now we're going into Graveborn. It's Graveborn with Proud Greaves. You have to consider the fact that they're playing Sylvana. Not necessarily, because she has kind of fallen off on the tier list. She's still up there. She's not core anymore like she used to be. Although they are playing a frontline Igor, so actually it is safe to assume that they are. That being said, I'd rather have also stunned than have Coco stunned. Coco at least will keep things alive and keep things moving. Here we go. Looks good. Okay, they do have Sylvana, and thank God it actually was best case scenario, targeted Shakir. I did get the ult off by Coco before being stunned by Cecia, and this is an easy match. Mauler versus Graveborn. I should have highlighted more of what Sorin does and where his effectiveness came into play in this match, but in the next match or two with his instant ult, I'll be able to showcase that easier. Okay, now we have a Mikola Mythic. We are also going to sell our Brutus, clear that shop spot, clear the bench rather. 66 coins, another instant bolt item. Ideally, you want Mask of Fury on Sorin. Blossom Light, completely useless. Again, Bella, she's not a hypo celestial, so with Bone Scroll, it doesn't. We're not looking at any other trial cards other than a hypo or celestial. I will pick up this to go onto our Sorin. Now we have 26 coins. We are going to roll the shop. That last item, the ring, it's now just completely useless. The fact that we did get Mikola here enhances her Courage Sphere after some time and deals continuous damage to enemies adjacent to allies within the Courage Sphere. So a little extra damage buff. Overall genuine stats, pretty good. Darkwind Pendant and Blossom Light, completely useless. This random ascension card is a complete trap. Like there is no scenario where that's worth getting, ever. It's just not a. It's really a shop killer. You see this, you don't want to see that in your shop at all because it's blocking a spot for you to get something useful. Arrogance, also nothing good. Not for this. Not for this team comp. I would say it has its place, but not here. Alright, so let's roll. Okay, again, looking at the artifact experience. I do like getting legendary equipment. This is not the game for it, so we do not need that. Coco. Coco with a Deer's Blessing. Now at this point, just to run down the other items first, we'll focus on this Coco last so I can explain things clearly. Insight Pendant, Furious Gauntlets, Gale Boots, and Crown of Devotion, all completely useless. We won't be using any of those here. Coco. The only time to consider this is if we were way less underranked. Like, our Coco is already developed. We don't want to replace Soren for a Coco. That would be the only consideration here, as if I'd want to plug in and have a double Coco without Soren. But I didn't get to showcase Soren enough for the last fight as to why he was so effective. But if you know much about Soren, like his kit here with this team is ideal. So we are going to let that Coco go. And we're going to give the shop a roll. Stewart's Helmet, Gaze, neither of them are useful here. Again, we're looking for a Bone Amulet for Alsa. The other item that I was really looking for was Fallen Dagger. Pretty much just a Fallen Dagger. Starlight, believe it or not, actually works on her, but one of my favorite items on her is a legendary item. Championship Sword. Which maybe we'll get, we'll see. So, picking up this copy of Alsa is a safe bet. Now, we are looking for 2 more copies of Soren. This is a situation where I will lock this pack. Again, I told you, RNG is risky when you're buying packs. You really need to have a reason to risk that RNG. This is a reason to risk it. We're looking for 1 copy of Shakir. We're looking for 2 copies of Soren. So that is worth locking and risking. Bear with me for 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah. This is it's a safe bet to gamble for this RNG. Because if we can pick up 1 copy of Shakir, that was a victory. If we can pick up 1 copy of Soren, that's still worth it. Even if the other 2 cards are completely useless, we need Soren. We got to get him up to at least legendary, get him out of this funk, being a epic tier. Alright, let's play this out. Items are set, heroes are set. 3 more trophies to go, and we're gambling with 2 apples. We can afford to lose 1, so again, that kind of adds into the RNG that we can gamble a little bit. If I was down to 1 apple and I was being very picky, still might gamble it, because you got Shakir that we're rooting for. We need a single copy. The chances of us hitting a double copy of Shakir in the shop and then being forced to waste 15 honor badge, that would be detrimental. Now our front line again becomes Mikola, Soren, and on this map, again, we're trying to keep a pathway open for Shakir. Can't even play him here, just kind of keep things a little closer to heart, because we're planning, but, here's a safe bet in case we need to actually utilize these 2 spots. Here we go. Okay, not great. Running into a rock necklace. He's got Abyssal Bell. So, we definitely want to play him back. We want to play him to be able to counter the Savannah. Looks good. Let's play it out. Again, it's Greyborn versus Maulers, so we're at an advantage. Oof, that damage. Popping Mikola already. Alright, I like the fact that Ulsa's back there, wreaking havoc on his Cessia. GG! And they are cleaning house. So yeah, if you've seen Soren up here with these stuns, between the Soren and the Ulsa, Soren really kept control of this middle. Thorin had the burst. Took out Mikola, that's fine. Easy game there. 2 more trophies to go. Alright, sweet. So, now this kind of changes things slightly. I can pick up this Shakir. Now I'm not rooting for him in this pack. That being said, we have 104 coins. I am going to let this pack go. Like I said, you really don't want to pick up a pack. It's just the RNG you don't want to mess with. Like we don't need it. At this point, we're looking for one more item, which would be the Bone Amulet. That's pretty much it. Mask of Fury would be nice to pick up too. We would change into a Mask of Fury here. Also could even use the Mask of Fury actually over letting just Soren keep the Fire Dance. But ideally now we just want to look for copies of heroes. We have 2 more trophies, we have 2 more apples. I want to see if we can get some copies of heroes going. So Wizard's Mask and Gaze, no needed. Ancestral Blessing, not needed. Give it a roll. Copies of Rise, nothing here is needed. Arbiter's Armor. This is another trap item. I've had 5, but it's just not with this artifact at all. Giving it a roll. Alright. Perfect. 1 single copy of each. We're going to pick them up. Now we want to hope for a double of either of them. Still looking for our Soren. Sword of Justice, not needed. Give it a roll. Okay. Couple different scenarios here. Now, we run too much into double copies, so I'm not going to buy either of these outright. We're just going to lock them. We're going to keep them in the store to see if we pull another copy, single copy, of either of these heroes. Then we have the Mythic. That's how you have to do it. You don't want to waste 15 coins when you don't have to. Coco, Mythic, with Coexistence. Grants all allies shields that can resist 100% damage for 5 seconds when a battle starts. It's super good if we didn't already have Bone Scroll. Like, Bone Scroll, it's... I don't want to use the word overkill, it's just unnecessary. It's like we already have a lifeline, or a... what's the word we're looking for? We already have a lifeline, basically, with the Bone Scroll, that we don't need this Coco. And even though the Coco is Mythic, which is nice, that you gain that extra shield, it is more utility to have this Coco with the Fire Dance, with the instant ult. So again, this is, you know, a trial card where it was worth considering, but I do not see the placement for this Coco being necessary. So that being said, we're going to roll. We're going to hopefully find a single copy or another double of Ulsa or Coco. Still looking for our Soren. Still looking for a Bone Amulet or a Mask of Fury. Bloodthirst Stone or Arbiter's Armor, both not needed. And here we go. Okay, nothing really here. We got Grandmaster Emblem. and Epic Poem. Neither of those are needed. Giving it a roll. Another Fire Dance. Third Fire Dance. It's always worth getting. It's always worth getting to put on that instant ult just really can turn the tide of a game. I'm going to say this is worth buying, that we're going to put it on also. Now, you know, at this point, we probably bought one or even two that we don't need. But 2 trophies away, we might, you know, we might not see that deficit. Alright, nothing else here in the shop. This Coco, you know, Mythic, anything under Mythic at this point we're not even considering. Alright, nothing here. Colorful Exoplanet does work well on Elsa, but that's not her key this game. Fallen Dagger. So Fallen Dagger on Elsa is one of her best in slot items. It's equal with the Bone Amulet. That being said, we do already have a Fire Dance. We have 2 more wins. We have 16 more coins to roll down in the shop. The question is, do I want to lock it and play with the Fallen Dagger, or just let her ride with the Fire Dance for now? Fire Dance I would change for Bone Amulet in a heartbeat, almost as much as Fallen Dagger. This is very tough decision. This is a very, 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 very tough decision. For the sake of the game and being instructional, I want to say that going for Fallen Dagger or a Bone Amulet, either or, whichever one comes first, neither take priority, just they're both equal. They are best in slot. So even over the Fire Dance, that is a best in slot item for Elsa. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to hold that, keep that. And with the 16 coins that we have, we are at level 5 shop. So we are going to continue rolling down. We do have 5 slots still open. And now at this point, we're looking for either the better item, which at this point would still be Gaze of Power, Crimson Abyss, Mask of Fury, or we're looking for copies of heroes, which is really what we want. So let's roll it down. Ooh, bingo. Okay. Next turn, we got Soaring up. Sweet, good feeling. 3 slots left in the shop. Now this is what a lot of people would disagree with me on here, and they wouldn't roll their 13 coins. I just see it as we have 2 trophies left. We need an Ulsa, a double copy of Ulsa. We need a Coco or a double copy of Ulsa, double copy of Coco, and there is still items that we're missing. So let's roll the shop. Nothing. It's fine. Okay, now we got some EQ. EQ at this stage of the game, I would put on Shakir, because we know that we're going to be putting... It frees up Shakir. It actually frees up Shakir, and it kind of buffs the rest of the team. Shakir has Night Raven as one of his slot items, but it's really the EQ item, I guess, at this point that is better. So now we have 2 free shop items. Let's give it a roll. Nothing. Heart of Flower not needed. And 1 more roll. Nothing. We are getting close to where this artifact could pull a championship sword for Ulsa. That's something to consider. But because we already have pulled Fallen Dagger, let's just let it ride. We'll let the artifact experience expire. Alright, we have our lineup, we have our future plan here in the shop. 2 apples, 2 trophies, let's get it. Sweet. Okay, so this map, again, I've showed you. I kind of like these placements where you can pull them back a little bit. Play on the second row. Keeping Coco and Elsa. Oof. Okay. Now you don't want Coco gets power stunned. Glowing Blossom can be tricky. This could be very tricky. What I want to do is actually space these out a little better. Because it's going to target 3. These will be the 3 that Cessia targets. Main concern is still going to be a Sylvana here. Sylvina. But I think this is looking pretty solid. Here we go. We do have our 3 instant ults. Let's see how they play out. Good, no Sylvina. Ludovic, though, with the Gaze of Power is pretty strong. Cool, so that pulled Cessia's ult right into the middle. Just leaving Coco free. So that placement was perfect. Their damage, though, especially with a Ludovic. Their damage is going to out-damage us. We need to be able to kill through that Ludovic heal. Nice. Perfect. That was all Soren. Soren took out Ludovic. And that really made their whole team crumble. Ludovic was their heal. I mean, if we didn't take him out, it could have went ugly. GG. One more trophy to go. Alright, now back to this. Oh, look at this. So we grabbed a couple more sword. Now, we only have one more trophy to get. We have 2 apples. What I'm going to do is pick up this 2-pack here of sword. And I'm going to pick up this EQ helmet. Now, if we do lose, because we do have 2 apples, if we have another loss here, we're at least set up to go for a single copy or doubles of whoever we need to make them mythic. We're in the best case scenario right now. This is looking pretty nice. I didn't get to be able to buy that Fallen Dagger, which I should have actually bought over the Soren. Wasn't thinking. I was just so hyped about having this double here, 2/2/2. It's pretty nice to have this set up in the shop when you're going into these later stages. Set up for Mythic. So let's give things a roll, see what we pull. Nothing here. Frostwalker not needed. Nothing here. Grandmaster Emblem, Concealer not needed. Nothing here. Judgment Staff, Frostwalker not needed. And not enough coins to keep rolling. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. Last trophy, 2 apples. If we do lose, we still have things set up pretty nicely going into the final match. Let's get it. 9 trophies. Alright. So same game plan with our front line. Putting Shakir in the middle. We are going to place Mikola up front with Soren behind. Now we're looking at the other side of the field. It's running an exoplanet on Soren. That being said, I want the Soren dead, but I also really want that Coco dead. Where I think we're going to make the most impact in the game is throwing Elsa on this side so that she can CC, because he's running Mythic Heroes, like, so far that's all he's shown. I want to keep my Coco kind of secluded away from the fight, but not like exposed. So she needs to defend him, and to do that I want her up in front of everyone's face. Good positioning. He's got an Entendre, so he's at a disadvantage team comp wise. Bone Scroll versus Bone Scroll. Mythic Shakir with no item. Actually, it looked like he was severely lacking items. That damage, though. That's Shakir. Oof. Wow. Right off the bat. Soren nuked into my Coco. Mikola with the heal. Yeah, that's a rough one. Shakir made the difference there on their team. That Shakir Coco combo is not as good as my Shakir combo. Alright, so item wise, Eternal Blade, Heroic Spirit, Steel Pledge. None of these are. Bear with me, let me double check. Don't want to pass up. Eternal Blade works on Brutus. Works on Shakir. Not liking it though. Really, the Brutus is who used it. Heroic Spirit, Steel Pledge. Steel Pledge, no. Heroic Spirit, no. Okay, so yeah, those are all safe skips. Collapse. Alright. We did get a Crimson Abyss, which can be thrown onto Coco. That being said, I also want to take care of the item situation. We're going to throw that Fallen Dagger onto Elsa. Now, we have 52 coins. We're really hoping to get one of these guys to Mythic so that the EQ has a benefit. The EQ really benefits when you have at least 3 Mythic heroes. So, not worried about it that they're all Mythic. I just really would like at least one more. Need a copy of any of them, or a double. Oh man. And then we're looking at another Abyssal. At this point, the Abyssal kind of the Crimson Abyss, rather, excuse me, kind of loses its flair. I really just, I'm debating between throwing it on Mikola, but the Deer's Blessing is going to benefit the Morim. Exoplanet on Soren actually turned out to be pretty nice. Not liking it as much as we'd like it if we can get a Mythic hero out of this. Nothing. Okay, Coco. So we have a Mythic Coco. We didn't end up getting we didn't end up getting Elsa or Soren in this game Mythic, which is unfortunate. There really are 2 carries. So really it's our utility and heals. Brutus with that Bygone Cloak. Ooh, would not be a replacement for either of these, or any of these. So, for the sake of, let's just roll things down. I want to see what I get through the shop. Soren. And that's it. Alright, this is our team going into the finale. Again, the only thing I would have considered is Eternal Blade for Shakir. But this will help these guys stay alive a little bit longer with their base stats, which in turn will help these guys stay alive. Let's hope for the best. 9 wins at the ready. Guess I gotta buy something out to clear that in the shop. It's gonna come down to positioning, counterplay. Pyromancer. Power Catalyst. Okay. This time I'm going to put Shakir right up front. We are going to space things out a little bit, because with Power Catalyst we need to space things out a little bit. And I'm glad he picked a side. That is the side we are not going to have Coco on. That is the side we are going to have also on right up in the front. Here we go. Rough call. Really need to burn her down. We need to see Ulsa doing some Ulsa things. There she goes. Good Coco ult right before the Mariel's about to pop off. Is it gonna last? Does it last? Yes! GG! There's Ulsa. And that's why buying that Fallen item on Ulsa was worth every second of that torment. Fallen Dagger it's super nice to have. Like, you want her to keep rocking that ult. And, yeah. Guys, that's been fun. Here's the 9-win, Bone Scroll. Could check that off my list. Very consistent artifact, consistent wins. I mean, even if you can only pull off 5 or 6 wins out of it, I would say you can do it very consistently, aiming for these heroes. Again, if you can get, if you pull Rise over Shakir, that's not terrible. If you pull Brutus over Shakir, that's not terrible. With this team comp, you really have those champions to work with. Shakir, Brutus, Rise. Depending on those 3 who you pull more of, that's who I would focus. While meanwhile, you want to continue to focus on Coco, Mikula, Ulsa, and Soren. Like, those are your core units, those 4. And item-wise, I kind of gave you a play-by-play as to where my brain was at with best-in-slot items. Yeah, I can only do so much. I'm going to put out the bigger tier list, which, you know, reflect more on this game, and I have some more clips from some Bone Scroll where I can show you, like, Ulsa and Soren at Mythic with Bone Amulet, just show you the difference, and Mask of Fury. Mask of Fury does make a world of a difference for Soren. Soren right here with Fire Dance the whole game really wasn't showcasing what he does. But, yeah, overall, Bone Scroll, 9 wins, Econ Strap. You guys, it's been fun. I wish you all the best of luck. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. We're building up the channel. And yeah, see you guys on the next one.